I am Ethan. I am me. It is sometimes hard to tell people who we are, so let me start with some background. I am to a large degree the culmination of those in my family and those around me. My mother, Melissa, whom you all know as an ever-present member of this congregation. My father, Eric, whom many know as a member at large of the board, among many other groups. My brother, Aiden, whom many know as the Silly Karate Kid. And my grandmother, dubbed Nana by us and known as Kathy to all. She's the newest member of my local family, as she's moved here a little over a year ago. Another very influential person in my life was Christian. In many ways, he showed me how you can live life to the fullest with any hand you are dealt. He is a perfect example of taking everything you are given and making the most of it. I vividly remember a day in Central Park with my family and Chris. Chris and I, even in his weekend state, were a good 100 feet ahead of the rest. He stopped and turned to me, and he told me something I will never forget. He said, "A good leader often stops to look back for his followers. If he has no followers, he's simply a man on a walk." I have always remembered this. It has shaped me more than I ever thought it could. Now let's talk about some of the big questions. What about God? I've never felt any connection or a need for a God. I've always seen life through the lenses of, if you can't prove it, it doesn't exist. With this mindset, I've never observed any proof of a higher power, an almighty God or a spirit within. The only thing I have truly observed and accepted that is comparable to that is that of the mind, the human mind. I believe in us, humans. We have the capacity to do so many amazing things. We have cured disease, fought hunger, and harnessed energy. The human capacity for growth and action, if it can be dubbed so, is what I truly think of as holy. I see no God making this happen, but a bunch of hyper-evolved primates with the will and the way. This view is often challenged by my peers. They might say, well, where did those humans come from? Or, there must be something controlling such great achievement. And on and on and on. But I find this hard to follow. They claim that because we are not certain of our exact origins and of the universe and life itself, that there must be something greater. But I challenge them. For thousands of years, we were happy to be farming and living the way we had for millennia. But since then, we've changed in ways unimaginable to those of the time. We've spread across the globe, created great empires, and destroyed those very empires. We've discovered the very building blocks of life and much more. We've seen the smallest things yet known to man, all in roughly 4,000 years. So I will ask you as I ask them, what if we are on the cusp of something? What if we are on the cusp of things as unimaginable to us as to our ancestors thousands of years ago? If ever there is something holy, this is. Now the question of life or death. We all live, then we die. No more, no less. I've never thought that anything happens after death. I've always seen death as something to expect, never to fear. To me, it is something that is inevitable. As my science teacher explained to me, it is encoded into the very DNA of all living things. What I fear of death is not death itself. It's the idea that I could be taken because of something completely out of my control. My mentor showed me that the getting comfortable with the randomness of life is one of the lessons we learn as we age. After we die, I believe there is nothingness. I believe it is simply a dreamless sleep one never awakes from. Because of these ideas, I've allowed them to fuel my life, and it has driven me to strive to make the most of everything, because any moment truly could be my very last. Now, what about spirituality? Studying science has helped me understand my connection with the universe and have a much deeper knowing of the world I live in and where I come from. Perhaps it has expanded my understanding of the interconnected web of all beings. Doing weightlifting has been freeing for me and is in many ways a part of a spiritual practice. It is a simple sport, the bar and I. Only I can affect how the bar moves. I find solitude in training. Everything is quiet. It is simply this moment. It seems larger than just me and the weight, and may be applicable to how I move through life. Now, what does all this mean for me in Unitarian Universalism? I don't believe in isms, but UUism isn't quite an ism, but more a school of thought, which has allowed me to grow and has provided a place of joy, family, and trust. This has allowed me to grow in ever diverse ways, being as I am a secular, atheist, agnostic, humanist with many, many different views that are greatly influenced by those around me. What will this mean for me as I grow? For the short term, I will try to regularly partake in services. And following high school and college, the first UU, or any UU church for that matter, will surely be my long-term home. The social justice program that I will support as a part of Coming of Age is Hawthorne Helps. Hawthorne Helps is a program for helping the students of the Hawthorne Building with Essentials for Life. This past winter, I led a class project to collect donations for this initiative. Today, I will be continuing by collecting monetary donations in the Commons. Thank you.